So I'm having a chat with Joff from Wolf Alice. How are you?
I'm good. Not too bad. Not too bad, thanks. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Thanks very much. First things first, the first single from your new record is called The Last Man on Earth. So what can you tell us about the track?
So the track was... so we kind of developed the track from a demo that Ellie sent over a couple of years back now. And I remember I was walking through a park in London, and I got an email from her saying, I've got this new song. So I put it on my headphones and walked through the park. And it just struck immediately and just went, this is going to be a really important song for us. And we went and recorded it sometime later in 2020 at a studio called ICP in Brussels. And here it is here it is. It's here. It's out.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. It's bizarre. Yeah,
absolutely. And as mentioned, that's off your new record, Blue Weekend, which is out in June. What can people expect to hear when they get to take a listen?
I hope people have learned by now to kind of expect somewhat the unexpected from us. I think we like to jump around a bit, and we like to experiment with different sounds, kind of different. I wouldn't say genres specifically, but different kind of subgenres within the kind of indie rock and pop bracket. So I'm hoping there's something for everyone there. Yeah.
Good. That's great to hear. And obviously, in the middle of a pandemic at the moment, how did that influence and affect the record?
Well, it was all written by the time the pandemic struck. So we went off to record in January 2020. January 2020, over in Brussels. And we were there for about a month or so, I think, before Brussels lockdown, or Belgium lockdown. And we were faced with a kind of awkward dilemma of, do we come home, put the album on hold, or do we stay there under lockdown and finish it off? And consulting with the studio, and they consulted, with their local authority, etc. And they kind of gave us the go-ahead, should we want to? And we went, let's kind of button down the hatches and crack on with it, really. So it was a welcome distraction from what was quite a bizarre, scary bit of history, really. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, and it just meant that, being there in lockdown, when you're recording a record, you're kind of in a state of somewhat lockdown, but not to be able to, go out and blow off some steam of a Friday night, as we like to do. It really meant that we were focused in a level that kind of we haven't really been before. We wouldn't be going out, we wouldn't be doing anything else, and living in the studio as well. It was kind of always on our minds. So we really, really honed in. So we're hoping that was a benefit.
Yeah, definitely. And you've been releasing music as Wolf Alice for over 10 years now. How have you kind of developed and worked towards where you are today?
Oh, just by doing it, really. Doing it, making mistakes. I think we've always been pretty brave, and we've always been willing to put ourselves in positions that maybe, felt scary at the time, but, if we hadn't have done, we wouldn't be where we are today, really. A kind of trust in our own instinct and tastes. I mean, essentially, Wolf Alice is a kind of, when we're writing music, the big test that we say is, do we like it? Is it music that we would want to listen to ourselves? And does it evoke the emotion that the song is intended to do when we listen to it as individuals? So that's kind of the biggest test. And as long as we're doing that and making music that we think is, we think works, then, we're going to carry on doing it.
Good. I guess that's the main thing. Yeah, and obviously the main kind of bulk of your music came when you became a four-piece between like 2013 and 2017 with a couple of albums, a couple of EPs in there. But there's been a bit of a bigger gap between your last record and now. Was there a reason behind that?
We were absolutely knackered. Is the answer to that question. Yeah, I mean, we didn't really have a gap between the first and second records.
No.
We finished touring the first record, had 3 months in a studio, a rehearsal studio, where we kind of worked out the next record, and then we went and recorded it, and then we're back on the road. So by the time it came to December 2018, that was us. We were absolutely done for. We'd, been on the road, been recording albums, been doing promo for nigh on 6 years at that point, 5-6 years. And we needed a break. Admittedly, it wasn't that long a break, considering we, had about 3 months off before we went and met up. I think we got bored, to be honest, and went, all right, let's do this again. Let's make some music. And admittedly, this record has taken a lot longer than the other records. I think we had been afforded some time. And we were keen to make the most of it, really. But this, I think, obviously the record would have been out earlier, and we would be out. I think we would have been in America at this point, playing shows and getting out there. So the pandemic, did affect it adversely in that way as well. So interesting time.
Yeah, most definitely. But touching on touring and doing gigs, you've got a nice run of dates booked in for January next year.
Woohoo!
I bet you can't wait.
Yes. Yeah, I really, really, I think, the live experience for people that have, the gig bug, I don't think there's anything else like it. Just, whether it's tens or hundreds or thousands of people all in one room, sharing in an experience together, and kind of getting lost for a couple of hours with each other is just something that is just absolutely beautiful, and something that I've sincerely missed. So I cannot wait to get back out there. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, and you've even added some extra dates because some of the dates have already sold out.
Yeah, we haven't actually experienced that before, I don't think, gigs selling out in a day before. But yeah, we had, I think, 7 shows sold out in the first day. So, yeah, unbelievable. I think somehow we've returned from 2 years of absence, bigger than we were when we left, which is odd.
People have missed you.
Yeah, good trick if you can do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And off the back of that, with all being well in the world, I'm sure you'll be wanting to get out further afield than just the UK.
Yeah, I mean, there have been tours booked in the background all over the world for the last year, really, and everything just keeps on getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. So, as soon as we are able to, we will be out on the road.
Yeah, and obviously this year as well, you have been able to squeeze in a different sort of gig with kind of like a mini Glastonbury, as I'll call it.
Yeah, teeny little Glastonbury. No, exactly. So it's a live stream event that will be happening some point over the next couple of months. I don't have the exact date. I really should do, but I don't. You can check that out on the Glastonbury website, I'm sure. And yeah, we're very lucky to be one of, I think, 9 acts that have been asked to play. It's on Worthy Farm. I think they're going to be putting people in interesting and different locations across the space. So it should be interesting for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, Joff, it's been great having a chat with you.
Thank you very much.